Hi, I'm Matt, and welcome back to One Brit's Point of View. We've got some more proofies out there, UFOs this time. Anyway, let's have a look at these. Apparently, these are some famous ones, some famous UFO videos. If you've ever been into the topic, you probably would have seen them. Let's have a look.
For millennia, Turkey has been a bridge between cultures, a crossroads between Europe and Asia. But as you're about to see, it might also have been the meeting point between human civilization and extraterrestrial life.
And it's a great holiday destination. I love Turkey.
It's May 13th, 2009, and night owl Yalçın Yalman is stargazing in the suburbs of Istanbul, Turkey. Shortly after 3 a.m., something strange appears in the sky over the Sea of Marmara. Yalçın immediately grabs his Canon Mini DV camera, a videotape, and records this. It appears to be some sort of saucer-shaped craft. It's hovering silently for half an hour about a mile away and...
I am sure I've seen this one. I've been on Reddit. I don't go on Reddit that much anymore. Cesspool. Like everywhere else, really.
500 feet above the sea. But watch what happens when Yalçın zooms in. Do you see that? Now take a look at the footage when we zoomed in and cleaned it up for you to get a better look. Yalçın says that what you're seeing here is a cockpit window. And there, inside the alleged craft, he's saying you can see two aliens piloting this thing. Right here and right here.
I can't see that, to be honest. Can you see that? I can't see that.
Yalçın is sure he's made contact. In fact, he claims it's been happening for years.
Konuşmalar bana dalga dalga geliyordu. Neden seçildiğimi ben hala anlamış değilim ama çok şeyleri bana yardım ettiklerine inanıyorum ve bizler olmasak yarın öbür gün gelecekte bunlar insanoğlunu eğiteceğine de inanıyorum.
And according to Cydonia Institute Director George Haas, Yalçın's video is just one of many recent sightings.
In 2016, Turkish air pilots reported that they saw a UFO go over their plane with green lights. The pilots say they saw this UFO about 17,000 feet, but the airport authorities reported that they had no evidence on their radar of any of the sightings that the pilots saw.
Now, we've never seen a window on a UFO before.
No, why is that? You don't usually see UFOs being reported of having windows of any kind. The Tic Tacs, jellyfish UAP, typical like the flying saucers shaped. What other shapes are there? There's diamond shapes. None of them have ever said, oh, by the way, there's a window on it, or a cockpit window.
Yalçın's cockpit aliens appear to be a unique phenomenon, and one the Turkish government has taken very seriously.
And the video looks really genuine.
The Turkish government came back and said that this is authentic, and this spacecraft has nothing to do with any military programs or anything. So this could be extraterrestrial.
Can't really tell, though, can you? You can't really tell anything from that.
Our experts take a deeper dive into the footage. We begin with forensic video investigator Michael Primo.
We always look to the metadata first. And this block-like pixelation, this is an indication that excessive amounts of compression were applied to these pixel areas. But I don't detect any evidence of this program interacting with something that would introduce CGI. There's no indication that they were trying to deceive or mislead.
So if
it looks like a genuine video, but there's nothing to indicate that that is in the sky, really, either.
it doesn't appear we have a doctored video, has Yalçın really been dealing with aliens? We take that question to astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antonio.
Back in 2009, we didn't have the cameras we have today. He's zooming in on it all the way. And in my view, I don't think that you're going to be able to see anybody in a craft like that. That's like saying, if you zoom in on an airliner going by, can you see people looking out of the windows? And the answer is no, because the windows are still too small.
So,
but there's nothing to say the windows were small on that craft, really. Playing devil's advocate.
What does aviation expert Tim McMillan think? Turkey is a NATO member and has the second largest army in the organization. So is it possible this could be an experimental aircraft?
This is a particular area where you do have...
I don't know. I mean, I'm drinking a lot of tea today. I'm under the weather with a sore throat, so apologies. But what I would say is, I can't imagine what experimental aircraft you've got out there that would be military with a massive giant cockpit window to look out of. Does it make sense?
Military drills. And in fact, NATO holds different annual drills that simulating wartime environments. However, all of the telltale signs of aircraft as we know them are really kind of thrown out of the window. We definitely don't have any aircraft that are lenticular or saucer shaped. Beyond that, if it's going to be an aircraft, you're going to hear something, whether it's the jet engines of a plane or that rotor thunder of a helicopter. And in this case, the individual said he didn't hear anything while filming it.
So what else
Is it even in the air, though, is what I'm saying. Is that could be something on the ground, like a building or something.
could this be? McMillan has a theory.
Whenever you're filming something over water, especially at a great distance, there can be some weird illusions that can make things look extremely unusual, including ships. They appear to float on the horizon in air, which is just an optical illusion. And so could we be looking at fishing vessels that are on the horizon, forming the top half of our dome-shaped craft, and the reflection of the lights in those vessels coming in onto the water?
That's plausible.
Surface at the horizon suddenly makes that nice saucer shape. And in fact, can deceptively make it appear like it's in the sky.
Here's the problem, though. Those optical illusions, often known as Fata Morgana, are typically seen lower over the horizon than where Yalchin was pointing his camera.
It's a case that's been around for a long time. That doesn't mean it's true.
I suppose, though, you don't really know where he's pointing his camera because there's no other landscapes or buildings or anything. Landscapes. There's no other sort of artifacts in the video to sort of compare where it would be filmed. Like if you saw mountains in the background, or you saw buildings with lights on, or fishing vessels on the sea, you'd say, "Oh, it's filmed in the air." Nothing in the video to dictate where it was filmed.
It just means it's not solved yet.
Our verdict? We're going to classify it as a genuine UFO. Our experts make good points, and we'll agree that those images in the windows probably aren't alien space pilots.
Well, you can't say that, can you? Because if it's a genuine UFO, then it's open to all possibilities. So you can't say, "Oh, it's probably not that," if you don't know what it is.
But that doesn't mean we can identify
It's probably not aliens, but until you know what it is, it realistically, it could be anything.
what this thing actually is until we get more definitive evidence. It's September 1971, and Sergio Loaiza is flying over Costa Rica's Lake Cote, photographing the terrain for the creation of a map. But once he lands and begins developing the pictures, one snapshot captures something at 10,000 feet that
Clouds. Ah. I see it.
appears to be extraterrestrial. Take a closer look. At the edge of the frame, above the lake, is a shiny disc-like object bearing a striking resemblance to the quintessential flying saucer. The photo was examined by researchers who deemed it authentic, but it wasn't until 2021 when attorney and UFO enthusiast Esteban Carranza got a hold of the photo that the story got really interesting.
My uncle, he managed to obtain a copy of the negative. And
It does look like a UFO, a typical UFO. But I've never seen UFOs with pointy tops, though.
I say, aha,
I mean, in pictures, never seen a UFO.
I gotta find a way to produce a really high quality scan. What it is, we don't know, but we know it's real. And that's where we need serious scientific and open analysis.
Esteban releases the photo on Twitter, and the internet explodes. According to journalist MJ Banayas, the photo may reveal this object has extraordinary capabilities.
Can you tell that from a picture? I love it when they said the internet explodes. Like, this is going to break the internet. I think if the internet was broken, you'd know about it.
What's interesting about this photo is that the frame prior to this shot and the frame after this shot does not show this object. Some people believe that it's evidence that this object can cloak and become invisible.
Or it was quick and it sped away.
Some people believe that it's able to move incredibly quickly. And some people believe that it's interdimensional in that it was able to leave.
Christ, if Or some people believe it wasn't there, it was a figment of your imagination. And some people believe it was a ghost. And some people believe it wasn't actually there at all. You could go through every permutation here.
Our dimension and go somewhere else. So there's a lot of speculation around this photograph.
In previous episodes, we've shown you UFOs sighted near volcanoes, as there's a belief among ufologists that alien craft are attracted to volcanoes and other high-energy sites for the purpose of refueling.
That's a shit design if you've built a spacecraft that needs volcanoes to refuel. I mean, you might as well build a Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future, where you just chuck rubbish into it and it fuels the car. I mean, UFOs powered by volcanoes, hydrothermal. I mean, what?
Well, this photo was taken right next to the Arenal volcano, which was Costa Rica's most
I think it's more likely ball lightning or static discharges that create lights near volcanoes.
active until 2010. So could there be a connection? Before we spend too long on the why, let's confirm the what. More specifically, what is this disk? Our experts weigh in.
Come on, Midwest, are you here?
First, we take the photo to astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antonio. Despite all the recent hype, is this simply a 50-year-old hoax?
I've seen the photo ever since I was a young kid, and so I know if it was hoax, it would have to have been done with older technology. I don't see how it actually could have been done back then, because all the attempts back then to do that had some giveaways that we could detect now.
If we're not calling it a hoax, did Sergio capture a real UFO phasing in and out of our dimension?
Big yawn. They looked like there was like a little line coming from underneath it as well.
I looked at the way the light is hitting this thing, and I compared it to the light hitting the trees down here. Look at the shadow angles, they're all the same. So this is the shadow angle for the sun. Now if we go back to the UFO, this doesn't make any sense. We wouldn't expect to see any light on this side at that angle. So the lighting is entirely wrong for this being some type of physical object that is reminiscent of, say, a UFO. Entirely wrong.
So if the shadows don't match, D'Antonio believes that rules out something like a piece of equipment that may be felt from the plane. Next, we turn to astrophotographer Andrew McCarthy.
The photograph in question here was captured at a focal length of about 150 millimeters, focal ratio f5.6. Since we know
Makes sense.
that the object was in focus and the ground was also in focus, the minimal distance to that object from the plane had to be over 640 feet. So it's something huge that happened to be passing under the aircraft at that time.
By McCarthy's calculations, this object would be at a minimum 48 feet long. If it's
I don't know how big's a football field. I keep hearing people mentioning about size of a station wagon, it's the size of a football field. But yeah,
further away,
50 feet is not a small size either.
it'd be even bigger. So we have a large craft that only appears in one photo out of 3 taken seconds apart, meaning it must be capable of traveling at fast speeds. Could this simply be a conventional aircraft?
This was captured in 1971, long before any kind of drone existed. A helicopter or an airplane wouldn't have looked like this. So we can really easily rule out most existing aircraft at that time.
For McCarthy, the lack of any conventional identifiable marks
It doesn't look like a conventional aircraft. Avro car, maybe.
leaves him with only one conclusion.
It's very rare
Look at that setup. That's a pretty cool setup.
I come across a photo that I can't easily explain away. And I think what we have here is a genuine, unidentified flying object.
Our verdict? Genuine UFO. Our experts have put together some compelling
They were classics, them two as well.
theories, and we agree it's not a chip in the glass. But as D'Antonio noted, if there is something real there, we still haven't accounted for the fact that the light and shadows don't match. Anyway, now we see why this photo is getting all the love.
First one, I couldn't see two people standing around. People. I couldn't see two aliens standing in a spacecraft. Make that what you will. The second one, if that's a genuine picture, there's probably good evidence that there is something flying around that we don't know. I'm going to go away. I'm going to have some Lemsip and a nice hot cup of tea again because my throat is killing me. Hopefully, you, wherever you are, you're feeling 100% and healthy because, yeah, just wish you nothing but the best. Anyway, I will see you on the next one. You take care.